Hello, my dialings. Just a quick note at the top here to say I know I said at the end of last week's episode that we will be starting on Kaiju Girls this week, but due to some scheduling issues, that has had to be pushed back. So instead, we are bringing you our fun and fluffy game of the Untitled Ghost Game. I hope you enjoy it. And don't worry, Kaiju Girls will be coming in a couple of weeks. Welcome to Direcast. You've eaten moths before. Why stop now? Here at Direcast, our group of 6 spooky ghosts play different RPGs, bringing you a new game and system every few weeks. This week there are actually only 4 of us here, and we are playing the Untitled Ghost Game, an RPG inspired by the Untitled Goose Game, where you play as a ghost who wants to ruin everyone's day. My name's Lukey, and this week's question is, which animal did you want to be when you were younger? I actually kind of rotated between wanting to be a lot of different animals, but generally I came back to leopard or cheetah because they are pretty and they have spots and they are fast and they have floofy tails.
That's fair.
Solid reasoning. You cannot fault that.
Also, climbing trees, and there's some. I don't know. There's something of a nobility you get with a leopard you don't get with a panther. I know, right? I love a good panther.
I really
love. Yeah, who doesn't like a good panther?
Love me a good panther.
Well, we got Lukey's new T-shirt. Hello there. My name is Peter, and when I was a kid, when I was a wee Pete, I very much wanted to be a dinosaur.
That's fair.
I stayed in my dinosaur phase for a lot longer, and then when I realised dinosaurs weren't enough, I went into a dragon phase, so I probably wanted to be some kind of worm, mainly because I've really come to really like the sort of like no front legs, just wings, because like it looks it always looks normal on birds, but whenever they try to do it on dragons, they always seem to have too much body. So I look at them and I just think that you're just gonna overbalance, aren't you? Who am I to talk the physics of dragons? I wanted to be one.
There is that really good documentary about.
Oh yeah, no, I was obsessed with that as a kid.
The Last Dragon. That's what it's called.
That's my word. Some people the cobwebs have come off that part of their brain.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh my god, I forgot about that. Okay.
Yay!
Jacob.
Hi, my name is Jacob, and when I was a wee bairn, I wanted. Oh, good lord! I also had an extended dinosaur phase, and. Apart from that, I swung between wanting to be a deer or a wolf. Certainly my deer phase was much more pronounced than my wolf phase, and is still kind of there because I like deer. I've rediscovered an aesthetic love for deer in the last couple of years.
Hey there, my name is Matt, and when I was younger, I wanted to be an otter. I still do. I love otters. They're little cheerful river creatures. They just swim around, like literally like a river otter that lives in a canal and just kind of bobs about. That's my life. That's what I want from my life.
Now that we know that about ourselves, let's get to it.
So we are 4.
We are 4. There's only 4 of us.
We are down the H and the Ellen.
A trilogy of 4.
And this week we are going to be playing Untitled Ghost Game, which we decided on. Or to be fair, we decided almost an hour ago. It's just taken us a really long time to get to this point.
Yes.
Which is inspired by the Untitled Goose Game, and is about the whole bunch of us are going to be. All 4 of us are going to be taking on the collective role of a poltergeist and sometimes some hapless villagers. The poltergeist will spend the night haunting a peaceful, sleepy village for good or for ill. We have yet to decide. So we are picking this game up as it goes along. We've made
I've definitely read the rules.
Definitely
we
read the rules,
absolutely know what
completely
we're
familiar. We're making a
Consummate
couple of
professionals.
alterations, which we'll get to as we get there. The first change that we're making is, of course, we're playing this digitally, and the game is designed to be played in, meat space. So instead of flashcards and writing utensils, we have a shared Google Doc, and instead of coins that we flip, we are using D6s. Okay, next step is we talk about the village.
Village.
Talk in broad strokes about the village you're haunting, what's the surrounding area like, how many people live in it.
It is the village from the M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Village. No.
The village can be as fantastic or mundane as you like.
I was going to say, yeah, so are we thinking like a little sleepy modern village? We thinking like your generic medieval village? What are we feeling? I'm pretty easy.
What if we're a village of pixies?
Oh, like Smurfville, almost.
Smurfville!
I don't even know if that's the name of the Smurfs town, but like...
Wherever it is, I want it to be distressingly righteous. And
smugly
self-righteous.
Red Wall?
I don't know what that is.
Oh my
Red
god!
Wall, wow.
Just a little... That is... Okay, at least 2 people got whiplash when I made that reference. So it's a little town full of little animals.
The mouse village?
Yeah,
Yes,
mouse.
that's Brian Jacques. It's the Abbey.
I could be behind like a really like sweet, like not specifically, but like Red Wool, Sylvanian families, kind of.
Yeah,
it's
Sylvanian
almost like a kids' cartoon vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
And we're just going to ruin it, and all of their little bake
villagers are
sales.
little animals.
Yeah, they're all like freaking Mrs. Bunnywinkle's gonna have a freaking bakery sale for
it's Beatrix
Grandma
Potter.
Weatherby. Like,
Beatrix Potter.
Beatrix Potter, yeah, should we do that? It's this like quaint, lovely little, loosely Southwest England style village,
Exactly.
utterly idyllic, and we're gonna ruin it.
So fantasy, fantasy Devon.
I'm feeling we're kind of doing like a series of unfortunate events thing where it's not very clear what year this takes place in.
But everything is just a bit vintage.
If it's helpful for someone to have a radio, then they have a radio. But
Like maybe someone has like a swanky new like Model T analog or something, but at the same time, I don't know.
There's one car.
Horses.
Yeah.
The local
There's
phone
the
number is
village
6.
car.
It's horse and plough and swanky new Model T kind of deal.
The horse, of course, is actually the farmer.
Yes. Indeed.
Oh yeah.
This analogy. Cool. Yeah. So we're based. So freaking Fluffyville.
Yeah.
oh my god, yes, it's called Fluffyville.
I was going to suggest Flufferton, but I like Fluffyville.
Flufferton. One of those.
I
There's
prefer
an ongoing
Flufferton
debate.
because it's more regionally appropriate.
Yeah, I agree.
Flufferton is good.
Yeah,
Flufferton is good.
All right, so we are the ghost of Flufferton.
Oh, the Ghost of Flufferton sounds like a children's book.
Are we like a resurrected chicken or something, or a duck?
Oh my
Then we're a poultrygeist.
Poultry
Poultry
guys.
guys.
No.
I like the idea of having some kind of large establishment that's like the heart of this village.
It's the local like pub.
Yeah.
probably, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
The
Yeah, I
public
like that.
house.
We've got 3 to 5. We need 3 to 5 keywords.
I mean, it's got to be quaint.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So
God,
looking
what I
at
would-
the list, I would give snug a go.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, you could have looking at these
Slug.
like familiar.
So communal. Kind
Okay,
of?
so hang on. So communal is everyone knows everyone else, and this is a good thing, rather than being like a constant case of cabin fever.
That's old Dodie. He's having a lovely time on his second cider.
You've been nursing that Sawyer for 3 hours now.
Shouldn't have made the glass 2 feet tall.
Considering he's a squirrel.
Dangerous naming scheme we got
we say
here.
nursing. What we mean is scuba diving.
Been diving for pearls, he has.
I mean, so far we've got this is just a very quaint, otherwise completely normal village,
I mean, do we
but
want
it's
to?
animals. Do we want to spice
mean-
that up a bit with?
I mean, have we got like a bit of conservatism?
Is there a, yeah, I'd say is a darkness and the edge of the village.
How about a river?
Ooh,
And there's
very
something
Devon.
about the river. It's like you don't go in the river. Definitely not after sundown.
Yeah, the river's just a bit dodge.
So is one of our keywords river?
I've
River.
actually got a key phrase here. So I've got quaint. I've got roadside inn, snug, communal, and no one mentions the river.
I'll go with that.
Only the beavers go down the river. We don't ask. We don't.
Can't trust a beaver, you know
You
what
can't
they
trust a
say.
beaver. They got big floppy tails.
So I feel like we've sorted the village.
Yeah.
Moving
Next
on.
stage is the poltergeist ourself. So we have a list of questions which I shall read out in full. How do they manifest? How can they interact with the world around them? Do they have limitations? Were they ever a person? Or have they spontaneously originated from untapped energy in the area? What is their goal?
So, I mean, I'm going to throw it out there. I feel this, like, really sweet, quaint, lovely little village that we've created feels like it's got something to hide. It's a chick, for argument's sake, a chicken that was not well liked in the village and was never allowed in the tavern, and nobody didn't like him. Then they passed away of natural causes.
Just an
But
old
now,
cockerel.
but now they're back, and they're like, I'm gonna get my own back.
You know how every village has that one crotchety old weirdo?
Yeah, that nobody really likes.
This is them, but they died and now they're back.
Now they're back, and they're just like, right, I'm now gonna
They,
freaking ruin
they
your
died of
party.
old age. They were very...
Yeah.
I feel like they were a cockerel, and they just woke everyone up at stupid o'clock in the morning. Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Yes.
The cockerel croaks.
Every single day. They also do just look like a cockerel with a sheet over it.
it's like a boo ghost, but it's
It's
a
a
cockerel.
boo!
A
It's a boo ghost, but
you
it's
know,
a
like-
cockerel.
Oh, it's no, what it is. It's a cockerel. It's a cockerel in a sheet with 2 eye holes cut out, a hole for
Yep.
the beak, and a hole for the crest.
for the
for the
woggle,
crest.
like, whatever it's
Woggle.
called.
The woggle. That's it.
Yeah,
Not what it's called,
yeah.
but sure.
I think it is. Oh, what is it? Hang on.
Yeah,
It's called the crop.
Cockerels.
Cockerel's crest.
Uh,
Good
what
name
do
for a
you
pub,
call
but not in this game.
Oh, what if it is? What if that is the name of the pub?
Cockerel's crest. Is in fact called a comb. I was wrong. Where did I get woggle from? What the fuck?
I
is
don't know,
that?
but woggle is a very good word
It's a
for
very
it.
good word, and I feel like it's the like chin
Oh, no.
testicles.
Maybe it's
my
yeah.
cat's sitting
I
on my
Anyway,
lap.
don't think it... Is this guy... Was this cockerel called Old Woggle?
old woggle. Yes, we are
Old
playing old woggle.
I like
my
old.
God.
Oh god.
How do they have any limitations?
Well, they can only work until the cock crows.
Yeah, they are. You only appear at night. And what is their goal? So we had it in loose, which was
Just
they
to
kind of want to
annoy
get
people?
vengeance. Well, should we specifically say that like their vengeance is focused on the tavern because we've got that,
Yeah.
and they're a bit like maybe we don't start at the tavern, but they basically want to kind of ruin the tavern. By ruin, I mean you'll never work in this town again, sort of vibe.
They always said the tavern used to like make too much noise and keep them up late at night,
Yeah,
and then they would wake everyone up in the morning. Yeah,
I tell you what, if you want to make it like kind of slightly pertinent to the real world, you could say that maybe this town used to be really sweet and idyllic in old Woggle's young days. This is an
Oh.
idyllic farming
when
town.
he was a young Woggle.
When he was a young
I
cock,
was a young woggle.
but
He was a young cock. Thank you for those words.
but then several years ago, maybe the Cockerel's Crest pub was bought.
The hipsters
like,
came.
The hipsters came, and so they're trying like, or maybe it wasn't even
Oh.
bought, but like whoever owns the tavern is a traitor to the village.
Oh, they
Because
have an
he's
open mic night.
It's become like bougie, and it's now like serving like quinoa.
Yeah, and
and,
like,
like,
burgers.
And it's like
And-
super stupidly overpriced, and it's become an Airbnb place, and you've got loads of
it's like-
grockles coming in from uptown, loads
It's
of city
changed
rats.
the whole town. There's
Yeah.
Airbnb everywhere. There's like an local art collective.
Well,
who do the,
no,
like,
they're going to be
submissions.
1920s hipsters, so flappers.
Yeah, it's yes,
Oh my
yeah. They're
God,
all,
it's a
all these
dance
yahoos coming down in their motor cars.
Yes.
That's what it is.
They're using
Yeah.
things like They're using things like petrol and proper English.
And do you know what else? They're smoking and getting drunk long past our bedtimes.
Yes, yes.
And they're wearing short skirts.
And they're wearing short skirts, and even worse, they're wearing like
Hats.
those fucking stupid little hats.
Yeah, tiny hats.
So all of this old Woggle hates, and so he wants to ruin the pub.
There's like an artists community as well. They've all moved
There's a couple
in.
of like beat poets have moved in.
Oh God.
This town has literally gone to the dogs.
Yes.
I feel like so our goal is to ruin the Cockerel's Crest.
So, to set the scene, it is a lovely evening in the village of Flufferton. The sun has gone down over the perfectly rolling hills.
Yeah, the shy horse puts his tractor back in the garage.
Exactly.
He pulls along his own little plough.
He doesn't pull his own plough. He's got like a little steam tractor.
all the ducklings have come home from their studies. And the lights are starting to flicker on amidst a mixture of cosy hearth fires and candles and the occasional gas lamps in some of the wealthier establishments. What did we call the inn?
The Cockerel's Crest.
The Cockerel's Crest is just kind of spooling up for the night. A door opens and we hear gentle laughter and the sound of trendy modern music of an unspecified genre.
I feel like we need like a penny pinching innkeeper character who owns the place.
Yeah, so it's just sort of a Thénardier type.
Yeah.
I've got a name. Oh, I was going to go for Jonathan Slam Chowder.
Yep, Jonathan Slam Chowder, and he is a
animal is he?
Yeah,
A
he
fox?
can be.
Yeah.
I feel fox is too easy. Like maybe something sweet and cuddly, like a badger or like a
no.
Sorry.
A
mole.
koala. Actually, kind of a mole. He could be a mole.
He can be a mole.
If he's a koala, we have to do an Australian accent for him. And
I feel we'll meet a koala later, but I feel
Yeah.
Jonathan. What was it? Jonathan Clam Chowder?
Slam
Slam
Chowder. Jonathan
Someone
Slam
put that in
Chowder.
the list.
The mole.
I think the camera draws away from the light and verve of the Cockerel's Crest to the edge of the river, where the bridge that crosses it meets the main road, and there is a swirl of leaves without wind to cause it. And
Sorry.
one of the few actually stationed lamps flickers and goes out for a second. And when it comes back on, there is just a faint suggestion of a shadow right in the edge of the light. Old Woggle looks about himself, looks down. The sound of laughter and jollity floats down from the centre of town.
he looks up at the street lamp and he goes, "They replaced my house with a bloody street lamp." Yeah.
So, what's
Come
Old
on,
Woggle's
Woggle.
first destination?
I've got two things. I've got the house next door to Woggles has turned into a trendy Airbnb.
Oh yeah, his neighbour is quite a funny idea.
Either that or there's like it's like a musician or an art, like a bunch of arty-farty musician-y people who live nearby and just constantly annoy him by doing weird things, throwing paint around,
the jam room,
playing music, reciting poetry.
Because the town has gone literally to the dogs, and this is vaguely 1920s. They're the Bohemians.
Oh yes,
Nice.
the Bohemian tea shop and jam room. I was going to suggest as my room as well. We don't have to do it first. I was going to literally have like a motor car of full of townies rock up,
Yes.
like making all sorts of noise and altercation, like
a bunch of scallywags.
yeah, like some pigeons and some like rats and maybe a fox. That lot, like city dwellers. Should we do? I think like neighbour first feels like the right way.
Yeah, should we go to the neighbour has turned into an Airbnb and they're like having a loud dinner. There are some guests in there who are they're loudly having a fun dinner. They're like singing songs and telling jokes and laughing. You can hear you know that thing in films where you get the ambient laughter and the light and it looks so cozy and wonderful. There are men and women laughing together, staying in that same house together, wearing these newfangled clothes.
Do they have like the house is like very ill keeping with the village aesthetic?
Yeah,
in fact, quite Art Deco and modern.
Yes,
yeah.
It's very. They had it redone completely when they bought it as an air to rent out as an
There's
Airbnb.
just there's flowers everywhere. The lawn it has a lawn.
Oh,
it's not just meadow.
It has a lawn.
Yeah,
It doesn't even have an allotment.
Who owns this house? Who's the neighbour in question? Like, I know there's going to be other guests, but I feel like it's nice to focus on a character.
Oh god, the neighbour's definitely one of those like Airbnb people who's like, every time you stay with me, I will be your friend. I will throw you a party.
It is an experience.
Yeah, so they're hanging out with these people. Oh, they are.
Amos is close to amicable.
Amos. Yes.
Yeah. Amos. I think they're a married couple. They're Amos and
Curd Stomper.
Millicent.
Curd Stomper.
Curd.
Amos and Millicent Curd Stomper.
Amos and Millicent Curd Stomper. I mean, Curd Stomper makes me think cows. Like,
oh, yeah, they're cows.
they're a cow and a bull. Yeah.
Terrible.
Both, like, he's in like a little knit cardigan and she's in like kind of a nice gingham dress, but they're both off like Etsy.
Yeah, they have glasses which they don't actually need to wear, but they wear purely to judge. This is
He wears Wellingtons every day, regardless of the weather.
Yeah, and he's never even stepped in mud.
Yeah, he's never once stepped in.
we get mustard in balls, we don't get it in jars. That's how mustard should really be.
You can get mustard in a bowl?
Yeah, it was.
Well, you can if you go to the organic produce
Yes,
shop.
yes. If you go to the farmers' market, they do it in a little ball. It's wonderful.
Which farmers market? The one on the farm? No, you fool! The website.
You go to the farmer's market in the city.
Yes.
Yeah, the farmers market in the city.
In the city.
What sort of energy lingers on the building and why? A high school could be filled with awkward energy, a library with a hunger for knowledge or boredom. Homes can be filled with love or familiarity.
It's like it's blow off energy. It's debauchery. It's kind of it's like I'm going to come to the countryside, but it's all very plastic. It's not like
inauthentic,
organized fun.
Glass smiles.
Oh, nice.
To haunt the building, first determine whether the poltergeist wants to soothe the building's energy or intensify it so that the building will eventually manifest a poltergeist of its own. One of the players can embody the poltergeist and the others can embody the building, its surroundings, and the people in it. Yeah, and we're working towards, once the scene reaches a crossroads or you feel like the poltergeist has done all they can, we roll a light die if we want to intensify the energy of the building, or a dark die if we want to soothe it.
I imagine we'll want to intensify.
Yeah, we want to kind of make it so they're all manically pretending they're having fun.
Oh yes,
like they're all just kind of
them that
losing
they're
their
not
minds.
actually enjoying this.
Yeah.
Or I like the idea of manic energy, and bearing in mind we're trying to cause people to flee to the pub.
Yes, we want the house to become a place they can't handle.
Yes, so it's. Are we sending the locals? Are we sending the couple to flee to the pub for like a sense of sanity, or
and also their guests and their guests?
Yeah, particularly are we sending the guests because it's like, oh, these guys are trying too hard and it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
like our hosts might be about to like try and dance us to death. Can we please go?
Well, kind of like the hosts eventually, like the party's going so weird and terrible that the hosts suggest they go to the pub and everyone is relieved to just like not
get
be
out
in
of this
an
crazy
enclosed
house.
room.
So someone wants to be the poltergeist. Does anyone want to be old Woggle for this scene?
I could be old Woggle.
Fantastic.
You may be old Woggle. What do you want to do, folks? Who does anyone want to be, Amos or Millicent?
Oh, I think I want to be Amos.
I don't mind being Millicent.
Do it.
Fantastic. Which leaves me to be.
You want to be the guests, Jacob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is the guest?
It could be maybe an executive couple who are kind of down for the weekend. And do you want to be a city animal? You'd be pigeon?
Yep. I can.
Pigeon?
Samantha and Eustace.
Samantha and Eustace Pigeon.
Chuckleberry.
Chuckleberry. Samantha Chuckleberry and Eustace Chuckleberry. All right.
I am Dr. Chaos. Let's go. Dr. Chouse.
You've been such gracious and quaint hosts. Eustace would stay the same, but poor dear, the workload has been quite getting to him. I did tell him right at the beginning it'd be good to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city, and it's so nice how you folk have come to accommodate us.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, the man can't handle his brandy, but...
Would you care for some more of the Malbec, Amos?
Yes, and some for our guest as well.
I have some of the Malbec, both of you. Yes, it's
don't mind if I do.
it's,
I've still got a peck or two in me, yes.
There you go.
Right.
Peck or two.
Right. First action.
Yes.
I'm assuming that this has fancy, schmancy, slightly weird art on the walls.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, there's some like completely nondescript art. On the walls.
Oh yeah.
Do you like it? We got it in an exhibition in London.
Every 2 or so minutes, whilst they're looking away, I'd like to invert it.
And notice here the lines and how they lead like so gracefully around, and it forms the shape of what I believe to be the human soul.
And when they look away, I'd like to move it. I'd like to turn it 90 degrees.
Darling, did you move that painting?
Of course I didn't move the painting, Amos. Why would I move the painting?
I thought it was rather on vogue. Quite a nice touch to have it pointing to the fireplace like that.
Exactly.
I imagine they have some sort of sealed-in, probably canned fish of this period. I'm imagining.
Yes.
Or I would like to uncan the fish. I would like to cause a small with my ghostly beak. I would like to peck open just to create a little smell.
Alrighty. I will say at this point, I'll say, I know what we need, Amos. We should get some nibbles. I believe I've got some little canapes in the kitchen that I can get. I'll be back in a moment, darling.
That would be wonderful, my darling.
Have some more of the Malbec.
Yes, thank you.
So Millicent is going to kind of trot into the kitchen to get the salmon on the digestive canapes. And then she's going to notice a very, very funny smell that she doesn't like very much. Eustace, was it? Oh, no, Samantha, you're the...
Yeah.
She's going to eye you up very suspiciously, like, city folk.
City folk. Samantha, you must tell us. You said you had that gala that
yes, it was simply
the Prince of Wales attended.
Yes,
the
it
whale
was simply
himself.
Yes, it was simply quite wonderful. Yes, we had it was of course an event at the new pier. The Prince Whale and all
Whale
and all the attendant
He's a whale.
all the attendant porpoises were there. It's very civilized. This recasts the salmon canapes in a rather weird light. But anyway,
No, because whales are mammals. We're sticking in the world of mammals.
Millicent, as soon as you start talking about like your fishy friends, it's just going to chuck the canapes into the fireplace and keep smiling.
Oh, the fire's going to go out.
Do you smell fish?
The fire is going to go out, did you say?
Yeah, the fire will go out. I'm gonna whoosh, and
it's a bit darker in here all of a sudden.
Yep.
I think it did, but
yeah, I must have been a gust of wind. I will see to
but
the
you know
fire.
the best parties are had by candlelight, don't you know?
Of course,
Oh, darling, you are wicked.
I was just about to say this one seemed quite out of it, the poor dear. How about we tuck him out of the way so that we can get down to the fun business of the night?
Absolutely. Amos, take him up to bed.
Sounds like she's proposing an orgy.
We said this party
now
was
you
going
said
to
it.
get weird, and I'm dangling that hook there for someone else to pick up.
I would now like to turn up the radio, and at a point halfway through a sentence, I would like to tune it to the to the ABC, the Animal Broadcasting Corporation.
What's it saying?
It will probably be the shipping forecast.
Who's the gardening man? Alan
Titchmarsh.
Alan Titchmarsh. Apparently, he used to think that shipping forecast was the chicken forecast.
So that's what we're listening to then?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're listening to the chicken forecast.
Yeah.
And in Dogger, they will be laying 5 eggs.
Dogger, goujon, egg, poached, warm, slippy, breast,
Amos,
thigh.
I told you to get the radio fixed. This is not good at all.
Brown on
did
the
get
outside.
it fixed, darling. I tried to turn
Brown.
it down and it turns up higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amos, take care of it,
Darling,
Amos.
I don't know. His horns accidentally smashed into. Oh,
Beastly noise, Amos.
Boned, seriously, deboned, wings, buffalo sauce.
Oh,
Is this really quite appropriate for
I'm so
flighted guests
sorry.
such as myself?
I'm so sorry, Samantha.
Millicent's really desperate to preserve her 5-star rating. So she's going to rush over to Samantha and just like clamp her hands over your ears. Just to be like, it's all right. We don't want to damage your hearing. Amos, fix it!
I'm trying.
Oh,
I'm trying.
Oh, get your
He's
hands off
just
me, you
like
off-scaled out.
headbutting.
It's a fight.
He's
I'll
just
massage you,
headbutting
darling. I'll
the
massage you.
radio now.
Ow, sensitive there, sensitive.
So there your feather, your beautiful plumage. You must tell me where you get it
He
done.
has now impaled the radio on his horn.
And you're like, fixed it.
He's walking around with it. It's still playing. Darling, I can't reach it anymore.
Amos, will you get the fire started again? It's getting
Oh,
dark in
yes,
here.
he bends down to the fire and the radio falls in the fire. And
Have some more Malbec, dear.
I'm going to restart the fire now with a fish and a radio in it to sort of give a flash frying effect.
and Amos's head in it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Well, just the horns.
Ah!
Oh, stand back. Oh, my feathers are desperately flammable.
Yeah, you've just kind of puffed, like, you know, and I'm just like
absolutely.
desperately. I'm trying to like pet your feathers, and I'm just like, oh, there's some lovely. Where'd you get your plumage? And have some more Malbec. Please be quiet, Amos.
It's
It's all right. It's all right. Millicent,
I
fix it.
startle and flutter, and I knock the Malbec over.
The Malbec.
And it goes into
To your husband's lap.
absolutely. It leaves a very unflattering stain.
Amos, he's bleeding.
Oh
Amos!
no! Get the first aid
Call
kit.
the doctor.
Amos runs to get the first aid kit.
I would like some of it to spill onto the beige carpet and form the figure of a middle finger.
Amos, fuck the medical kit. Get the
wing
salt.
giving a middle finger. He runs back in. The first aid kit is just a bottle of milk with a first aid symbol on it.
I'm desperately trying to find salt to kind of save the carpet. I've completely forgotten about the guest. The carpet is more important.
The carpet, Millicent. We had that imported from Wales.
I bloody know that, Amos. Fetch more
don't
salt
know.
or something.
The salt. He grabs the salt shaker off the table and just starts whacking it around the room.
I'll bet you anything you like. You've grabbed the pepper, and I'm now sneezing.
Oh
Yeah.
no! I will have switched them
You
at the last
swapped
second.
Millicent sneezes everywhere.
There is.
And the pepper goes further. Oh my god! Can you imagine a cow sneezing really, really hard?
Dear Game Master, is that enough chaos, or do you want me to keep
I
going?
think this sounds. I was about to say this sounds quite chaotic. So roll your.
Successfully ruined the dinner.
Dinner. I think dinner has started burning as well.
Oh fuck! My muffins.
We forgot the souffles, Millicent. We forgot the souffles.
The souffle and accompanying muffins are now slightly jarring. If anything, they just formed tiny little helmets.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay. At this point, so what happens now mechanically?
So this is a light die, and I'm tempted to say just 4 or more is a success.
Yep.
So can I say if we succeed, they go to the pub,
Yes.
and if we fail, they don't.
Yes.
Yeah. Simple as
Okay.
that.
Peter, as the poltergeist, would you like to roll a die for us?
Now, this would normally be a coin, so we're going to say odds
4
of
or
failure.
more.
I
4
was
or
going to
more.
say odds of failure evens a win.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
that
like
also
odds
works.
and evens.
Basically, I just need a binary system. Luckily, I've got one. Yeet! Oh, bugger, I rolled a 5.
So that's
No,
a
we
failure.
failed.
I need to cause
You
more
create a lot
chaos.
of chaos. And you've ruined their evening, but they're not going to the pub.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a sudden pop and the oven gutters out as well.
Yes.
And the entire room is just plunged into darkness for a moment, apart from the
Flaming radio.
apart from the sputtering of the radio. And Samantha goes, not that I'm a superstitious type, but I think that's the sign that we need to go to bed.
Yes, I think I'd agree.
I wasn't talking to you.
No, I mean,
You know, Amos, I don't think we're going to get that 5-star rating this time.
darling, I don't know what to say. Amos is just covered in soot and pepper.
I'll open another Malbec.
Yes, please, and one for you as well.
Yes, absolutely. Cool. So you ruined their evening, but
Oh, I tried.
Yes,
You haven't
indeed.
sent them to the pub.
A champion effort.
we
Okay.
move on to another location just in the interest of time.
Exactly.
Yeah, so where are we off to now?
I quite like the idea of a motor car of townies. The idea that old Woggle has drifted out into the night in a kind of what to do next. And because we said that like he's manifested near the bridge and the neighbour was nearby, it makes sense that this is the point where a motor car of townies comes over.
Maybe they've like stopped on the bridge and they're like admiring the view or something.
Yeah.
And they've parked completely illegally, of course. And yeah, I'm seeing like a 1920s roadster with like maybe like I think like 3 of them maybe.
Yep.
So like
And
maybe
say a fox,
a hound,
a rat, a fox, a rat, and a.
What's another kind of city animal that we already had? Pigeon, fox, a rat.
Oh, something really exotic from overseas. A parakeet.
A parakeet. Yeah.
Fox, a rat, and a parakeet.
This is our friend Parry. We're showing him the sights.
Yeah. The rat's driving.
The rat is driving, and then I feel like maybe the fox is the rat's girlfriend. And then there's the parakeet. Yeah.
Okay,
who would like to be old Woggle this time? Peter, you were old Woggle last time.
I cannot be
can
old
I be old Woggle?
You may be old Woggle. I would like to be the rat who's driving the motor car.
I quite like the idea of being the parakeet.
Where is this parakeet from?
Not specifically European.
France, apparently.
It's just a specific from Europe. I see. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Capital, Parry. Capital.
I'll be the fox. I'll be the fox then.
You can be my girlfriend.
Yes. I'm going to be from my list. Deft Janet Kneecaps, or just Janet Kneecaps.
Janet Kneecaps, I like. I feel like we need a Montgomery in here somewhere.
Oh, okay. I've got
Monty the Rat
so,
works very well.
So I'm going to be Montgomery Creve Perkins. That's who I'm going to be.
Oh my god.
I am the driver of this motor car. I am Montgomery Creve Perkins. I am the son of a very successful city rat.
Magnificent. Oh God.
Hello.
Your father won the rat race.
My father literally
dear.
run the rat race like, several times, I'll have you know.
And the parakeet is.
I mean, I feel like I'm going to call you Parry, whatever happens.
Yeah.
I feel he's like Jean-Claude Paré.
Yes.
Yes. Parry, Jean-Claude Parry.
Paré. And everyone calls him Parry in England.
Parry. My friend Parry. We met at the horse races, don't you know?
What? Who was riding the horses?
Nobody was riding the horses, you
it's a horse
buffoon. They were
sprint.
running. It was the Olympics. Why would you
the
ride a
annual
horse? What a preposterous thing to say.
They have a hard enough time balancing on their toes as it is.
Yes, the horse dance, the horse ballet.
Oh man, love
Janet.
this ballet.
So they're on the bridge, and I feel like Montgomery Creve Perkins, he's parked the car on top of the bridge, and he's now looking out at
They're playing poo sticks.
at what?
They're playing poo sticks.
We're playing poo sticks. I'd also like he's got a little hip flask that he's passing between the 3 of them.
No, we're playing poo sticks, but there's a sign quite prominently, like just where Montgomery is quite leaning like on the sign that says "Do not disturb the water."
Yeah, there's literally we're playing poo sticks. I've got a little hip flask I'm passing around, and I've got one of those like long cigarette holders.
Do not play poo sticks. It only encourages the beavers.
There's a family of otters who live under this bridge that.
No. No one touches the water. There used to be a family of otters that lived here like 50 years ago. The house has stood empty ever since.
Yeah, they moved on. The locals know not to do
Spooky.
it, but Crave Perkins and his friends.
Yes, indeed.
So, what do you think of it, Parry? The English countryside.
It is quite. It has its certain quaint charm, I suppose.
It's bloody gorgeous,
Wait.
isn't it?
I thought I saw a man.
Guys,
What?
we need to decide what the energy of this car is.
Oh,
'cause
yes.
Otherwise,
Oh,
I
shit.
don't know whether I'm exacerbating or.
That's a very good point. What's the energy of the car?
Petrol powered.
I mean, hubris.
Yeah, hubris.
Pretentious. Hubris is good.
Yeah, kind of like risk. I like hubris, like risk takery, kind of like daring, perhaps. I feel it's a bit of a roadster. It's a fast car for 920 standards.
I like hubris. Hubris. Just the idea that it's a bunch of townies who think they know best.
It's 0 to 30 in under 6 seconds.
So I feel like I want to soothe that. I don't know if soothe is really the right word, but I want to take that away to scare them enough.
Take away,
that
it's
they're
cool.
I think I need a strong drink, old chap, kind of thing.
Yeah. You want to kind of take the wind out of our sails. I feel you.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
And scene begin.
And scene. The it has a certain quaint charm to it, I suppose, but nothing like the glittering spires of
Yes, we're not going to talk about where you're from, Parry. We're here to talk about the English countryside. Isn't it gorgeous, Janet? Think, one day we could have a cottage just like this, and perhaps several more cottages. What? The car backfires.
Someone shooting at us! I immediately dive into the back of the car.
Janet, wait!
It's
just the car, Janet.
Parry's feathers flutter, and he darts up onto the like the side, onto the side,
the bridge.
and yes, here's the guns. It's just like the war. Oh no!
Get a hold of yourself, man. It's just the car. Look, and then he's going to go over and he's like, he has no mechanical knowledge whatsoever, but he's kind of going to go over to Janet. He's like, don't worry, sweet cakes. I shall make sure that the car is operational. You just wait, and I'll hand you my hip flask and say, take a drink for your nerves, darling.
The car locks itself. You can't get in.
Janet, open the door. Open the door.
I swig the entire thing and then go, hang on a second, the car's not opening, and immediately begin panicking.
Janet, I want you not to panic. Don't panic, Janet. Do you understand? It's important you don't panic.
I am panicking.
The ignition turns on.
Parry, we're going to smash the window. Come on.
The window rolls itself down.
I jump out of it.
Well, that was it's very funny, wasn't it, Janet? But gets the blood pumping. Right. Well, now that's out of the way. That was great fun. I'm now going to open the the bonnet of the car, and I'm going to kind of put my hands on my hips and just look at the engine like I know what I'm doing.
The bonnet closes itself.
On my fingers?
Not on your fingers. It waits until you're just free.
I like the idea that you're just leaning over, and it's like not to any great harm, but it's kind of bonk.
Yeah, just kind of like not harmful, but just bonk. Ah! Goodness gracious.
The ignition starts itself again.
What's wrong with you, you stupid machine?
The windscreen wipers start going.
I will. In my panic, I will try and jump into the front seat and kick the car into a gentle reverse.
Janet, don't touch the controls. You know women can't drive.
It refuses to move, and the bonnet hits you on the head again.
All right, most women can't drive. I take it back.
I suspect
that is a terrible thing to say, but very correct.
I feel a breeze on the night air. Is that my old friends returned from the war?
Where is Parry right
is that
now?
you?
Get a hold of yourself. I'm gonna throw the flask at his head.
Parry is he's just kind of regarding this faintly and looking into the middle distance. He hasn't really gotten over the shock of the backfire. And I was like, "Is that you, Gaston? Is that you? I can hear again, Gaston."
I will throw something else at him.
Is that you?
Are you like more behind or more in front of the car?
Me.
More in front.
It moves forward suddenly and nearly runs over your foot.
He will startle and jump back, and his back legs are going to hit the edge of the stone edge of the bridge, and he's going to wobble and topple.
Parry, come back!
I will leap
You
forward
don't
to try and
actually
catch.
fall all the way. Something seems to catch you.
Oh my god!
He's flying.
Lifts you up and puts you back down on the floor.
May I challenge that it's nothing quite as overt as that?
Okay.
That I go over, but something just nudges me, so I have just enough time to open my wings.
Yes.
Fair enough. At this point, like, Monty has had enough. He's gonna like run over and try and open the car door and be like, this bridge is giving me terrible vibes. Let's get out of here at once. This is silly now.
As soon as you reach for the car door, it starts driving forwards without anyone touching it.
Wait, Janet, this isn't funny. Open the door.
It stops. It stops.
I
starts again.
walk up. Yeah.
Every
Now
time
listen,
you get
Harry,
close
now
to it,
listen.
it starts moving.
This is not funny, Janet.
It does this for like 20 feet.
Parry is coasting on the night winds. I like to think that he's he might actually be. He doesn't realize it, but his experiences have given him a kind of not quite second sight, but having been touched by something from beyond, he's kind of just having a bit of a moment.
Harry's just off on one.
Yeah, he's just going off on one, just coasting on the night. He's just coasting on the night air, coasting on the night air. And he says, "If I can see you, Gaston, I see empty chairs and see empty tables from when the war was done." And is
Gaston's alive is just really annoyed with this guy. Just hasn't written back.
I'm gonna now try and leap onto the car.
So you're
I feel like this is a
the
moment
windshield.
to roll.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
was
we've
gonna say,
reached the kind of...
wait, one more thing. So you're across the windshield.
Yep.
It starts driving and it drives right into the centre of town with you on the front of it and stops
Yeah,
right
that will
outside
be-
the pub.
Yeah, roll
That
for
will
it.
be what happens on a success.
No.
Yeah.
So roll
Okay,
roll a dark die, and odds you succeed, evens you fail. No,
Other way round.
odds you fail,
even-
evens you succeed. Yes.
Oh, it's a 5. Oh man.
Okay, so that is.
I did such a good job.
We are
Okay.
getting out of town.
So Monty's across the windshield. The car starts and moves, but Janet finally gets things together and is able to engage the
handbrake.
Engage the handbrake such that Monty can clamber in. And after a lot of back and forth and recrimination, Monty actually turns the car in a 180. It goes into the central town, the central plaza off which the thing is, but goes in a 180 and straight back out again.
Yeah, they go back to their country estate. They don't stay.
I
around
have
town.
decided that if we leave now, we can still make last orders at Chapston's.
Exactly. Forget the parakeet. She's going off on one.
Parry, last chance,
reconvene with
fine.
And Parry is going to go off, vanish from
This
kind
mortal
of
realm.
normal established life, only to emerge a few years later, having set up as having found an abandoned shack in the woods and deciding to become basically a hermit.
And he tells people this story. I was on a bridge in a small village in Devon, and I had a
Devon.
supernatural experience.
Dijon?
Devon.
No.
Devon.
Devon.
I had a supernatural experience.
Shall we move to
Yeah.
the next location?
Yeah, who's up next? Old Woggle is on the prowl and ready to commit hauntings most foul. Tune in next week to hear him continue his quest for vengeance against Flufferton. But until then, thank you for listening to Direcast. If you'd like to keep up to date with episodes and announcements, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Direcast, and on Instagram at DirecastPod, and subscribe to us on your favourite podcatcher. And hey, if you enjoyed listening to us, maybe consider giving us a rating or review, or sharing us with a friend. We'd really love that. You can also now support us on Patreon, and we would absolutely love it if you consider giving us just a few pounds a month. Go to patreon.com/Direcast to check out the tiers and rewards available. Direcast is Lucy Slim, Matt George Lovett, Jacob Waugh, Helen, Peter Wellman, and H Folkmans. Our logo and banner art are by H Folkmans. The Direcast theme, and this week's theme, Old Woggle's Wiggle, are composed and performed by Matt George Lovett. This episode was also edited by Matt George Lovett. This week we were playing the Untitled Ghost Game by Alice V, a link to which can be found in the episode description. And at least for this week, that's how the die are cast.